Welcome to Johnny's World.
Hi, welcome back to Johnny's World. Today I wanted to discuss a topic that's been on my mind for a few months now. What are the best avocado trees to grow in a container? But before we get into that, I wanted to talk a little bit about container gardening for avocado trees. What I mean by container is, I mean these 24-inch boxes or a wine half barrel or maybe even a 30-inch box. So that's what I mean by container. I mean these large containers. And when you're planting these avocado trees in containers, these large containers, you do want to make sure that you use fast draining soil and just want to make sure that they have sufficient drainage holes in the bottoms. And some people also recommend, just for the drainage, that you may also want to add in 2 inch of gravel to the bottom to improve drainage. I don't do that just because I just use really good fast draining soil from Gary's Best Top Pots. I don't feel like I need to do that, but you may want to do that if you're using some other type of soil. And another thing is watering. Avocado trees grown in containers dry out faster than trees in the ground, so you want to make sure that you water them sufficiently enough. However, it's always important not to overwater as well. So there's a tricky balance. So in the summer times, you may want to, depending on the temperature and the weather, sometimes you may even want to water them daily if it gets really hot. You're having a really hot spell. And during the winter months, you may want to water them 1 to 2 times a week. A great way to maybe test is just dig about 6 inches and see if the soil is dry and crumbly. Then you most likely need to water them. But if the soil is moist and stays together, then you probably don't. And the last thing is fertilizing. You want to make sure that these avocado trees in these containers, you do want to fertilize them. I fertilize these avocado trees, these 24-inch boxes, about 3 times a year. But before we start off on what are the best avocado trees to grow in container, I do still believe that it is always better to grow any type of avocado trees in the ground. That's where it's naturally meant to be. But if you don't have space in your backyard, or if you just love looking at these avocado trees in these containers like I do, you may want to forego some of that. You may not get the maximum fruit production, but you will get fruit, and you'll get to enjoy looking at these. So let's get to it. So what are the best avocado trees, small avocado trees to grow in these large containers? Many say it's the little cado. Now, if you watched a prior video of mine, I bought these 2 little cados at Home Depot. And the little cado is, many say this is the #1 best small avocado trees to grow in a container. Now, I have these in 15 gallons. I'm going to eventually transplant one into a 24-inch box and one into the ground. And I'm going to compare what the differences in fruit production when I plant it on the ground versus the container, and that will be maybe in a future video. But many say the little cado is the best, and the little cado is supposed to be self-pollinating. It reaches only about 10 feet, and it's supposed to have good tasting fruit, and it ripens about May through September. And this is the only true dwarf avocado variety, and it bears fruit young, so that's good. So many say the little cado, aka the warts, is the best avocado tree to grow in containers. Now, the #2 avocado tree in my list is the holiday. So in my opinion, the holiday is probably the second best small avocado tree to grow in a container. Now, I have this in this 20-gallon container. I'm going to transfer this to a 24-inch box in the future. But the Holiday is a type A, and it's a semi-dwarf, so it reaches about 10 to 12 feet, and it's supposed to have a weeping canopy. This one I do have it tied up, so it's up straight. Now the fruits are supposed to be large oval fruit that stays green as they ripen, and it's medium oil content. It's supposed to have a really good flavor, and it ripens September to January. Now, due to the compact size of the Holiday, just due to the small size of the Holiday, I think this is probably the second best avocado tree to grow in a container. Now, the third avocado tree I'm going to recommend is an avocado tree I don't have. It's called the Gillogly, and I don't know too much about it, but I know that it's supposed to be a self-pollinating like the Avocado, and it's also a semi-dwarf, reaching about 10 to 14 feet, but it can be pruned to a shorter height. So there's some interesting characteristics of a Gillogly. It produces 2 crops of black skin avocados each year, and it's supposed to be rich and delicious. So, it's the skin is, it's supposed to be a thick skin that's easily peeled, and the fruit shape is weird. I'm gonna probably post a picture of a Gillogly avocado, but it's kind of like a lizard-like avocado shape. It's weird, but I'll post it. But the Gillogly is also another avocado tree that may be great for container gardening as well. So another avocado tree that you may want to consider for container gardening is a gem. And I have one of my gems in this 24-inch box. So I just transplanted it when I first got it in a 3.5 gallon sleeve. I just put it in this 24-inch box directly, so I don't have to transplant it later. But the gem may be another alternative choice for container gardening. Now, the gem is a type A. It grows about 15 feet. It's supposed to be a vase-shaped tree that bears the fruit mostly in clusters interior in the tree. But the gem can be pruned and maintained smaller as well. So that's why I'm saying that this may also be a great choice for container gardening if you need to grow it in a container. The great thing about the gem, it's supposed to be a good producer, and it's less prone than the Hass for alternate bearing, meaning the Hass bears fruit heavy one year, goes very light the next. The gem is supposed to produce good fruit every single year, so that is a good thing. So the gem is also another variety you may want to consider. Another variety, smaller variety of avocado trees that you may want to consider for container gardening is the Gwen. Now, this is the Gwen I bought a week ago, and I transplanted it to this 15-gallon. But eventually, I don't know what I'm going to do. I may plant it on the ground, or I may put it in a box. I might plant it in the ground, but this is also another tree you may want to consider if you're planning on container gardening your avocado tree. It's a type A, and it's one of the smaller avocado tree varieties, similar size to the gem. It gets about 15 feet, but the Gwen also can be pruned and maintained smaller as well. So if you saw my prior video, we did a taste test on the Hass, the Gwen, and the Reed, and the Gwen was my favorite. It's a great tasting avocado. Nutty and buttery, but a little bit less creamy than a Hass. So it ripens May through September, and due to the small size of the Gwen and the fruit production, the Gwen is also another avocado tree, and just the fact that you could prune it is another avocado tree you may want to consider if you have to keep your avocado trees in a container. Now, the last avocado tree I want to mention that you might want to consider for container gardening is the reed. Now I have this beautiful reed in this 24-inch box. It hasn't fruited yet. Last year, if you watch my prior video, you know it had about 30 to 50 small fruits on it. It all dropped. But I'm hoping next year it's going to have a good fruit production. So this is another tree. If you had to, you know, keep an avocado tree in a container, this is also another tree you may want to consider. The reed is a type A, and like the gem and the gwen, it gets up to be about 15 feet. But like the gem and the gwen, it can be pruned pretty well, and it can be maintained smaller. So it does well after pruning as well. You can prune down to about 10 feet, and I believe it still produces good fruit. So now the fruit it's interesting. It's large and round. It's kind of like a softball size avocado with a medium-sized seed, and it tastes great. If you don't watch my prior video, this is on the taste test. This is a great tasting avocado. So due to the small size and the ability to prune down a reed, this is another avocado tree you may want to consider for container gardening. But anyways, thank you very much for watching. Hope you liked this video. If you liked this video, please press the like and subscribe button. Thank you.